Oh, there goes your Vicksburg right there. Vicksburg, Malvern Hill. You know where Malvern Hill is, don't you? Right there in Geneva County, Alabama, as you're headed to Dothan. That's Malvern Hill. Malvern, Alabama, and Vicksburg. You know, that's where Buddy Raines, George Warren Raines, wound up going to jail because of something, I don't know. He was attempting to make it to California, but unfortunately he didn't make it to California. I didn't ask anybody like me. I didn't ask for an opinion. I don't care about your opinion. But hey, that's a statue right there of a woman. One thing I got to say about women is be careful for the women if they're not taking over the Catholic Church or taking over the Seventh-day Adventists and they want to ask that question. Now, the Bible never say anything wrong with women ministering the Word of God, but Jesus Christ is the head of the church. The man is the head of the household. He should be the one that's the preacher, the minister, the preacher. They didn't say they couldn't direct the children's classes and their little, you know, sins of Jeroboam. They, you know, like to separate all the classes. It don't matter if it's Messianic or Seventh-day Adventist. You know, it's just, you know, man is the head of the household. He should be the one running the church. I'm just telling you that. As far as virtue, divorce is a sin. You should know how to treat your wife. Even if she don't have a job, she should clean up around the house and keep things clean around the yard and all that. But she does have a job. That's her prerogative. But divorce is a very nasty, perverted, adultery sin. Divorce is very sinful. You ever thought you was gonna get it in the name of Jeffrey Scott Marlowe? He ain't playing your mind game. That says Intia Town, Gettysburg. And that's right there. Can you read that right there? I don't care whether you read it or not. You can get me just as mad as hell as you want to get mad at me. I've always been for drama and comedy. And if you don't like me, I never asked you to like me. This ain't quite Ocala, Florida when it comes to their Veterans Memorial Park and horses with their abstract paintings in Ocala, Florida. I'm glad it ain't Ocala or Marion County, or Polk County, Florida, or even Martin County, Florida. I'm so glad it's none of that, because you people wouldn't have a clue what history's like until you actually learn it. Maybe you can learn this one, the War of 1812, since you love to bear grudges and that's all your course system's about. I'll go ahead and take a picture of all these too, because you people obviously have a terrible way of reading. And then, you know, your people are in your jails and your prisons in Polk County, Florida. They don't teach you any of this stuff. They're so lazy, they're making money off pharmaceuticals hitting at Wall Street with those names of those pills, you know, because they don't really care. They want the money. They want to be standing there with that mayor and that city councilor talking some, They want to sit there talking that, you know, they're in control of the city. Pride. They love that pride. The stuff they never tell you because they're guilty for it. But they're the biggest liars too. And I'm walking around this statue. Be careful, there's a lot of traffic. Here's another dude, and I don't know who he is, but it's sure ain't George Ross. I thought I'd see a statue of James Ross, but he ain't here either. James Ross and his great-great-great-grandfather, but there's no James Ross or even George Ross. But you see what it looks like. So for all the other people that got put on the camera, well, they'll be considered people in Lancaster. I don't really care. Now, should I? I don't really care the answer to that either. Oh, I gotta go around it again. You see the sky? That's the tornado that's gonna come down and take you people. Exactly the ones over there in Wilderness Chaplain Hills is what that says. Wilderness Chaplain Hills. Well, maybe I'm ready to turn this video off right now. Oh, you see that big old tower? Does it remind you of that big old one where they had coffee and crepes in Ocala, Florida? Big old hotel or big old building. And I seen that comedy with the boyfriend of, what's her name? Kelly Fucahart, Marion County, Ocala, Florida. Yeah, we're at the bottom eating coffee crepes, and even parents were bringing their young children. And this friend of Kelly Fucahart was, he was Jamaican or something, but or Puerto Rican, I don't know. But anyways, he was cursing, but he was doing some good comedy. It was real funny. I enjoyed it. Well, y'all have a beautiful day. I'm going to turn off this video because you people just, you know, you talk too much, you run your mouth, but you can tell lies about the pharmaceuticals because that's why I have nothing to do with them. Yeah, exactly. I encourage all people to have nothing to do with your welfare programs, have nothing to do with your social services, and it definitely have nothing to do with your homeless shelters, because the #1 shelter a person needs with a building named a shelter is a storm shelter. Exactly. And you got homeless shelters down there in Polk County, Florida, trying to force men in the shower with other men naked, which is the best way for perversion, pornography, and child molesters and rapists of the same gender to all happen. That's where Grady Judd supports that stuff. And judges, his lawyers, and his doctors support that too. And that's very nasty, very perverted, and very pornographic. But that's what they do because they're nasty people in Polk County, Florida. Yeah, they are. They have no etiquette, no cleanliness, no clean manners. They go to their mayor's, city county commissioners meetings and they laugh at people. They don't believe in people being heroes. But you just obviously don't know anything about Moses. He killed an Egyptian. He may not have been a king, but he killed an Egyptian. And he was considered a man of God. So there you go for all you hypocrites and people who worship the mark of the beast, which is Sunday worship enforced. Because once it gets enforced, you're going to be guilty. It don't matter who you are, how your blood, kin, sibling, relative of mine. You're going to church on Sunday, you will be guilty of worshiping the mark of the beast, because Sunday is not the Sabbath. Saturday is. Well, that's right, from Friday sunset to Saturday sunset. That's right, this is Lancaster, Pennsylvania, signing off. Jeffrey Scott Marlowe from Geneva County, Alabama, right next to Dothan, right? But I'm in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. You have a beautiful day.